right? I needed a numbers guy to talk this one out. So we found one, I think. Please welcome to the show, Mr. Dan Geltrude. He's America's accountant. Dan, am I going down the wrong hole here, or is this something we have to start to worry about?
Well, I think you may be a little premature to start talking about stagflation. Of course, when you look at what the signs of stagflation are, right? So you have high inflation, high unemployment, and slow economic growth. Now, we may be seeing some bits and pieces of that, Scott, but I'm not ready to make that call just yet. So if we look at inflation, there's no question about the fact that it has been stubborn. The Fed's target is to get it to 2%. We're hovering around 3%, and it's been stubborn. We can't seem to get past that. Now, my personal view is, Scott, is that we are not going to see any type of significant retraction in inflation. At the same time, I'm also going to say I don't expect inflation to really take off. So what am I saying? I think we're kind of stuck where we are for right now, and we're going to have to see how the economy plays through with Trump's policies.
Okay, I mean, it's hard to argue with, but let me throw this at you. You know, for the last 4 months, everybody's been calling inflation benign, right? And, you know, no big tariff inflation. I don't really think tariff inflation is going to be the issue, but if you look at what we've been doing, they've been saying benign because we keep meeting the expected inflation number, right? But the expected inflation number is always a little bit higher than it was last month. So if you go back over the last 4 months, we've been raising the expectation, meeting it, and that's kept everybody's worries down. And they somehow feel as though, inflation's benign. We haven't really talked about it that much. Now, there's been a few people on the show that say it's not going away. I happen to be one of them because I believe it with that M2, the money supply number, being higher than it was when we had a 9.1% inflation problem. I just think that this is going to be the thing that nobody wants to talk about because they all love talking about maybe a full 100 basis points being taken off the Fed funds rate, and because that's going to make the stock market go higher. Look what happened to gold today. But I just feel as though that labor market which I think we're going to get bailed out with a little bit from AI. But the labor market's going to suffer from AI because we're going to lose a lot of folks. We may be more productive, but I think that there's going to be some issues there. And with the stubborn inflation, maybe I'm a little bit ahead of myself, but you can see where I'm going with it. That's kind of on the menu, but maybe not today's cooking.
Well, I think where you're going here, Scott, is you're looking at trends. So when we look at the slight monthly increase, whether it's 0.2 or 0.3%, it's not significant. But you're right in terms of we also have to pay attention to the trends. Which direction are we going in? So yes, if you turn around and you're increasing the expectation, no matter how small, of where inflation's going to go, and you come in at that point, or even if you're slightly lower, you're taking a victory lap. And I think a lot of that relates to we have inflation fatigue. We talk about it so much. I don't know if people are even listening to it anymore. Here's the bottom line. What I believe is saving us right now from having real significant problems with inflations and tariffs are problematic to some extent is the low energy costs. That is what's helping us right now. And I think energy costs will stay low during a Trump administration because that's core to his policy. But if for some reason, and we don't know what could happen geopolitically in the Middle East, and that's always an area of uncertainty, but if we start to see rising costs of energy and fuel, then I think we do have a problem. And then that S word, stagflation, does become an issue.
Yeah, and you make a great point there because this is something I've been talking about as well. With AI and these data centers, we're already starting to see some of these energy prices go up, not just maybe the gasoline you put in your car, but air conditioning in the homes, heating homes. I mean, there's a lot of those bills now that are hitting the consumer. We just had somebody on the show last week that showed me a $1,000 air conditioning bill. So those types of costs are going up because I think they're competing with these AI data centers, and that's only going to get worse.
Well, yes, that's true. Look, there's a lot of things at play here, and what's new on the scene related to the labor numbers is AI is changing the game literally overnight. And I think over time we are absolutely going to see AI start to really take a bite out of the available jobs, and we will likely see an increase in unemployment. Now, that's taking some time to play out, and hopefully we're going to be able to take these people that may be displaced, or how about this, kids coming out of college who can't get a job, and we're going to be able to figure out where to fit them in our new AI world.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I think you're right. I mean, the unemployment rate for people like the kids, 18 to 26 or something like that, just out of college, is like 10%. So they're having a difficult time. So you're right. It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. And I hate saying that, that's really cliche, but we're only on the cusp of this AI productivity gains. We'll see if that really helps with inflation too, because when we get more productive like that, that's going to take a bite out. It's disinflationary. So we're going to have lots to talk about, Dan, and you're going to be the one at the front and center. So I appreciate you being on the show. Thanks for getting us open up on a Monday. Appreciate all your comments. Great content. Dan Geltrude coming to us from Nutley, New Jersey. All right. Thanks, Dan. We'll see you again next